Just keep spamming Della until he joins.
Yeah, and cash.
You have to make yourself popular.
Fold.
What's going on, folks? Hey, crab, no shit.
Fold.
Oh yeah, and we're please do not say fuck or bollocks. We are live on the interwebs.
That's right, yeah.
We are
I'm not
live,
saying
and you
fuck
have a reputation
or
to
bollocks.
uphold.
Yeah.
I will. All right, since I have a reputation to uphold, we'll just start it right off the bat.
All right.
Raise.
This is a sit and go, for Christ's sake.
Fold.
I don't get these chips back unless I win.
Player folds.
All right, I gotta go
Fold.
dark.
So 5 million sit and go for all the potatoes. Winner probably gets the ring this week. So
Get my music going. Focus, focus.
Raise it up.
Well, Jackson found your voice, huh? Nice.
Call.
No, I'm a voice.
re-raise from Diva at the 360.
Gotta focus. Gotta focus.
She's got to have a strong hand here. This has got to be Jack's or better from Diva.
I don't think I ever do I?
Oh God,
Fold.
yeah, you did. Oh, yeah. Just the way you were looking at me across the table was enough.
Longingly.
I had to stare at the table. Don't let him get in your head. Don't let him get in your head.
Dax is cycling himself up there for the battle ahead.
I got those uncontrollable impulses
Player
to,
folds.
you know.
I know. It does
And that's why I
happen
gotta focus. I
occasionally.
gotta focus. All right, no, see, that's distracting. No, I gotta focus.
Raise.
Good to see that level of focus from the young man.
Stare at that little dot right there.
That's a call.
Did you show him that trick, Della?
Fold.
What?
Fold. The flop.
Pick up a stack of chips and look up.
Why? What happens? What, you crash?
Dad.
or some
Just
shit?
pick up a stack of chips, look straight up, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I'm not doing that. It sounds like hold your
Look,
hand up to
look.
your face to see if you're
Look,
retarded.
right here, look up,
Oh.
and you're gonna see it.
Go, go.
You gotta be holding you gotta hold a stack, even the small one, just whatever, and look
You
straight
don't
up,
know
and
what I
you'll be
see.
like,
You don't know what I see. I could be seeing everything.
oh my
I'm not playing
God.
any games. I'm not playing any
It's
games.
not a game. You pick
Oh.
up some
I
chips,
don't
and you
know
look
what
straight
it
up. You'll,
is.
Fold.
Something's gonna happen.
it's a
so
spinny dot. You'll
Fold.
see it. It's like a
wanna
marker
get
for the chips.
Fold.
nothing is a spinny dot. Nothing is there.
I s-
Stop
think
that.
he's-
Yeah, I bet
think he's
you
in your head,
$10 million
Daxon.
dollars.
Raise.
Huh?
He's in your head now. I think he's in your head.
He's in my
He's
head.
playing the games.
He's not in
yeah?
my head.
Yeah,
He's not in my head.
3D chess,
Fold. The flop.
4D.
4D chess.
You've done it before,
Check.
Captain, right? You picked up your chips and looked up on this, up there, and you see that dot?
Bet.
For whatever reason, when you pick up your chips, you look up and there's a big
Player
spinny
folds.
red dot up there.
None of that matters because we played at a table yesterday. The whole table turned into one big card.
I saw that.
One big card. So it was a dude's
True
hand.
story. It was insane. It was
Player
like,
folds.
Yeah, I saw those pictures.
I didn't realise everyone could see it. I thought it was just one guy. Wow.
no, everybody
The
could
whole
see it.
Table turned into it.
We all
Oh,
took
yeah.
pictures of it. Everybody could see it.
Giant card.
You know, depending on which skin you had, it matched the skin that you were playing.
What card was it?
Fold.
It was the King of Clubs.
Yeah,
Folds.
King of Clubs. Yep.
King of Clubs. And it
Check.
happened right when P. Pennant glitched out of the table. And I
Check.
think somehow he glitched
Player
and the
checks.
card was being dealt to Trooper
turn.
Gary at the same moment. And it turned into a gigantic card that
Player
bisected the table. And we didn't
Fold.
know what it was at first. And we realized it was a card. And then when it came Trooper Gary's turn and he lifted his cards up, it lifted up. So
Whoa.
it was one of
Yeah,
his
you could
cards.
see it.
Whoa.
And we were all like taking pictures and stuff. It was like, and then he started trying to tell us it was an ace, which was
Yeah.
hilarious. And we found out it was the King of Clubs.
Well, did he win the hand?
I think he won the hand too, didn't he? Because he had a pair
did,
of
yeah,
kings.
yeah.
Yeah, I
did,
think
yeah,
he won the
the
hand. And then
Oh.
after that hand was over, everything went back to normal.
Player
It was as if it had
folds.
never happened.
Wow.
The flop.
LSD is a hell of a drug.
I've seen it one time where the back of the cards
Check.
was the actual, like a window to the map.
Oh,
So when
wow.
I hold my cards, I can see the map in my cards for whatever reason.
That's
Check.
cool.
That's a weird one.
Yeah. I think it happened yesterday.
Who's got this royal?
Oh, yeah.
Player
Not
is
him,
all in.
obviously.
That guy. All right. All right. He's getting in my head. He's
Fold.
getting in my head. I got to go dark. I got to go dark.
Player is
Uh-oh,
all in.
you got it? Who got it? NFC Championship?
The turn.
No, but he does have that, though.
That is some flop.
It does work.
That is some flop. No spade. No. NF flops the straight. Captain flops the set. No one has a spade. And unlucky captain. That's what you call it. I mean, people talk about coolers. That was a cooler. You can't go folding because you're worried about the flush if you flip the straight.
He could have had any two spades, right? He could have had like a 3-7 of spades, and you would have lost.
Odds of flopping a flush with two cards of the same suit are 114 to 1.
Fold. Raise. Fold. That's a call.
So, although people do, it's not as common as you would think.
The flop. Player is all in. That's a call.
Shit.
This has got real very quickly, and NF is obliterating the table.
Nice hands.
Showdown. 3 of a kind.
Are you in a hurry, NF?
Had to call that one. I mean, that was
Yeah,
no
that one
brainer
went
right
down.
Where'd you
there.
find this
Yeah.
guy from? Huh?
Who messaged him? Who messaged him?
Jesus Christ.
Who invited
Nice.
NF in here?
I know.
Man, that was quick.
Oh.
What happened to the side of the table?
I don't know. He got in your head. All I can say is
He got in my head. He got in my head.
and
That's
took
what
all
I
your
was saying.
chips.
I should have took
That's
what I
for
was
your
saying.
chips.
I should have took
That's
what I
for
was
your
saying.
chips.
I should have took
That's
what I
for
was
your
saying.
chips.
I should have took hit him.
Player folds.
Right here? Yeah. Let me find the reset button.
Raise.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess this is good karma for
Fold.
Jordan stealing 100 million from me
Player
2
folds.
days ago.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Call. The flop. Check. Check.
Apologies, I'm having a drink right now, so I'm going to lean and stare at the ceiling for a second.
Bet. Fold.
So, if you've just joined us, NF42 is in the process of wiping out the entire table. He just flopped a straight, and then the very next hand flopped a set. We've lost Captain Ron and Daxid. We are effectively playing for the ring this week, unless there's another 5 million sit and go. There probably will be at the weekend, but whoever wins this is going to be in the pole position. And unlike the last one we played, where we've struggled to get rid of people, we are how many hands in and we've lost 2 people? We are 7 hands in and we've lost 2 people. And I believe Dad has taken a hit. He's 500 chips down. I've not done a thing yet. Not glimpsed, not called, not nothing. And I'm quite happy for that to continue for the next 10 minutes or so.
Raise it. Call. Call. The flop. Check.
If you are new to this stream, would appreciate you following. If you do follow, then in 3 minutes' time, you'll see an absolutely thrilling animation of myself on the screen. One of many animations recorded for the purposes of streaming and for your edification and delight.
The turn. Check. Player checks. Player checks. Here's the river. Check.
I'm just getting the hang of how to do many of these streamy things, so let me know if anything can be improved and I'll give it a whirl, either in the chat or on Discord. In fact, one thing I do need to do is bring the chat out on the table.
Fold. 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 Call. Check. The flop. Check. Check. The turn. Check. Check. The river.
So, as per normal, my strategy in a sit and go is not to play any hands early on because you can only lose the tournament, and once you're out, you're out. You can't win it. You can only win it if you're the last person left. So, there's only one hand you need to win in a sit and go, and it's the last one. So, I'll play good hands, obviously, I'm going to play. But I'm not going to get in any speculative pots. I'm not looking to play against the odds to flop sets. I'm not looking to play suited connectors. If someone dead is short stacked, and he will limp quite wide there, and he will limp with strong hands because he doesn't want me to fold. So we're just going to check through. We've hit the 4, so we're going to check. If I'd missed it completely, I probably would have bet. And he can have hit the queen. We're just going to check this through, I think.
Check.
And let's hope he's got 8-9.
Showdown.
King 8.
One pair.
No point betting there. We lost 30 chips. As soon as we start betting there, we can lose 100, 200, and they're incredibly valuable at this point.
Player folds. Fold. Fold. Fold.
To me, Oz isn't paying attention, so we're going to try and steer it. We're going to raise to 90. And he wasn't paying attention, which implies he was staring up at the screen. He's good enough to pretend not to be paying attention. But very few people, certainly with just for the blinds, people aren't going to bother to try and con you with the way they're looking. So if someone's not paying attention, it probably means they're ready to fold. Raise from Della, which means although this is a decent hand, we've only got 10 times that in our stack, so we're going to fold. If we were going to play, we'd probably 3-bet, even though I don't like. So it's super tight early in sit and goes. And also Della's got 860 back, so he's on a hair trigger for getting the lot in. A6, 25, 50 blinds. If I raise, I'll be raising to 125. I think that's fine in this spot. Diva's looking at me with quite a lot of intensity, so let's be wary if Diva calls quickly.
Fold.
Nope.
Player folds.
Keeping my cool if the price is right. He knows I've got position on him. He knows I'm not playing wide because if he's watching this stream, I'm talking about playing tight. So that's one good thing about having the stream, even though it's probably on balance a disadvantage. And we pick up a nice little pot. We're just looking to stick around. If I can get to 4 people left, 5 people left with 1,500, I always feel totally happy with that. You then just need steal the blinds a couple of times, and suddenly you're top 2 or 3. And the money is in sit and goes is in winning. You're not playing to come third. You're playing to win. And thank you, whoever that was, who just did a thing. I heard a noise. Captain Ron. Thank you for following Captain Ron. Appreciate him.
The turn. Player bets. Call. And the river. Player checks. Bet.
Don't know why. I can never move that window after I place it.
Player
There must be something, some sort of knack to it. Let's move it over here.
Showdown. 3 of a
Good
kind.
hand. I knew it too. It's like I knew it on the end, and I'm like, it took too long to make that one call. Like it was too much of a show. But that was good though. That was good. I liked it. I couldn't find the fold.
Fold.
Thanks, man. Got a
Good
baby
hand.
here. That's why I'm quiet.
Oz kills Della, unfortunately for Della, and unfortunately for me, because I'd much rather Oz lost his chips than Della. And Oz is holding a baby, so
All right. Well, I'm gonna go lose some more money someplace else.
Bless him,
I've
so.
better places than this.
Raise, call, call. Only 50 to call, 6 to 1. We've got to be really careful if we wing this flop, because we can't really stick too many chips in with our stack. We're in good shape at the moment. We just want to maintain that. Also, the fact that NF's got effectively 3 buy-ins worth means that the average stack is distorted because he's got so much. So usually at this point you don't have someone with such a lead, but when you get someone who's that far ahead, it changes the way the chips are distributed. So having 1500 becomes even more valuable. Call from Cupid. There's about 1 billion draws out there he could have. All the 2 pairs, all the sets, flush draw, king high, king queen with the queen of clubs.
Showdown.
And it's ace queen, so once a thin call from Cupid, nicely done. And I do like Diva's play. Diva is very aggressive, not crazy so, but very nicely aggressive in sit and goes. Played a lot with her in the past.
Fold. Fold.
Everyone folded. We've got Ozza's got a decent chip stack, so we're gonna have to make him pay for this. He's looking at us this time. That's unfortunate. This means he's got some more likely to have something.
Fold. You win.
I wanted to, that's 2 times in a row I've done that. There was. Now, normally I don't show because the 3rd time I would plan on having something, but you try and build a dynamic with the person next to you where you can second guess what they're doing in sit and goes, because very, very soon I'm going to be needing him to fold to my big shoves when I want to steal the blinds. The fun part, we're down to 5 people already. This is impressive. Diva's down to 545. So yeah, Cupid and Oz, although they've got more than me, we are literally 1 hand away from swapping places.
Player checks. The turn.
Thank you, Wasteman, for the follow. Appreciate it. Keep an eye out in the on the screen for very exciting animations.
Check.
The best strategy for top 3 in sit and goes is tight early, hyper aggressive late, and that's the fun part with sit and goes. With cash games, you can't get creative. Sit and goes are really boring the first bit, and then later on, there's not a lot of post flop play. But what there is a lot of excitement with shoves and trying to work out people's ranges and so on. But tight early, aggressive late. If I go out early in the first 3 levels of a sit and go, it's because it's been an absolute cooler. There's no point bluffing. There's no point getting creative. Late on, I go out with all sorts of junk. But you try and stack the deck in your favour.
Fold. Player folds. Fold. 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 Fold.
Big blind is 7-8. We will defend here. And how much is our defence going to be? Well, he's raised to, it's 80. Our defence is going to be another 200 and, I will go 300. I will fold to a shove there incidentally.
Player folds. You win.
And now we have 1600.
Fold.
Yeah, in some regards, sit and goes a lot more, to my mind, not as interesting as the dynamic in a cash game, because a cash game can have so many different types of hand. But on the other hand, sit and goes do give you a lot more opportunity to be creative and to really play the player. You've got to really focus on what people are doing, how many hands they're playing, how they're playing them, are they limping, what's their limping range, how anxious are they about going bust, are they willing to put their life on the line in the right spots. So there's a lot to be said about getting good at sit and goes to get good at poker. And so when I started playing poker, it was all I did for the first couple of years, apart from a few multi-table tournaments. I think it was probably 6 or 7 years into my playing of poker before I really started playing cash.
Here's the flop.
Anything like seriously. And to be honest, multi-table tournaments are still my favourite, and I think best form of the game. Haven't played sit and goes for cash for a very, very long while.
Fold.
This is a fun little spot. Cupid sort of looked our way there a little bit. Was that because he was thinking of calling? 120, so 80, so 225. I like to go something in the region of 2.5 big blinds as a raise, because it means you can fold to a 4-bet. Sorry, you can call a 3-bet, and the pot doesn't have to get too big if someone re-raises you. But sometimes you'll get a call from weaker hands. So we played, 5 hands so far? 4 hands so far? Haven't taken any risks. I've got more chips than we started with. We're down to 5 people. 6s. Now we're starting to get a little bit active. And they're going to pick up on that. So I suspect they're thinking I'm starting to crank up the speed. Diva shoved, I would have to call there. Cupid could 3-bet me light here. He could also 3-bet me. Oh, I don't like the size of that. Oh, we're getting priced in. This is like unless I hit a 6, this is horrible. Now I could shove because Cupid could be doing this light. NF's definitely calling light. If I shove, I'm not sure Cupid can call. I think I hate this. That's a nice size bet from Cupid. If I hit a 6, I'm happy. That's not a 6, but that's as good a flop as I'm going to get without a 6. Cupid's got a lot of big cards in his range. Has he left enough behind for me to get him to fold? Because I'm only 28%. 28%, I've got 8 outs, so 16, 32, 31% to hit my straight. I've got to assume the 6 is as good as outs as well, so that's another 2, 4, so let's say 35, 36%. But I need to say that's not good enough to call. I have to shove, but if I shove, there's no way he's folding, which means he's calling with overcards. Oh, this is awkward. Has he only got overpairs here? I think he's got overcards enough there, ace, king, ace, queen, that he has to call with to make that a good shove. And then when he does call, I win 30-something% of the time. So is he folding 20% of the time? Absolutely. And he's calling when he's behind a decent percent as well. Oh, he's got aces. Slow roll. Absolute slow roll. Shocking. So it wasn't a slow roll, I'm joking. He did the right thing to think about it, because I know his range is pretty heavily weighted towards big pairs, but that is unlucky. But we thought it through. He had aces. That's just bad luck. But one other thing, I run like absolute Jesus in sit and goes. That's part of my skill set.
Raise. Fold.
Right, now it gets interesting because we are right up there in terms of the lead. There's a raise from Oz. Now, Oz has raised under the gun, which means his range is pretty tight. Oh, sorry, yeah, pretty tight and very strong. So we're check folding here.
Bet.
Yeah, Ozzy's under the gun range there is strong. I mean, not just massive hands, but certainly strong enough to be crushing my range on that flop.
Call.
Yeah, an interesting one to run the numbers on. If you were following earlier, we were talking about Equilab and range analyzers. It'd be interesting to run the entire range of Cupid's hands. So he 3-bet pre-flop, so he had aces, kings, queens, jacks, maybe 10s. He had ace, king, ace, queen. So it'd be interesting to put those cards and that flop into Equilab against my hand and see what percentage chance I had of winning. And my guess would be I was about, against that range, I would say I was probably about 50%. So I think that's a reasonable shove on my part, because he's having to call the last 600 behind a reasonable proportion of the time. He's really unfortunate in that occasion that he happened to have aces. I'm going to shove, so hopefully Diva calls. I don't want to raise, have Oswego call, and then stick the rest of the money on the flop behind. I've been so aggressive. You know, I've folded almost everything for the first 20 minutes, and now I'm raising almost every hand. So Diva should put me on a wider range than. Well, I would have a wide range anyway. But hopefully she calls a little bit light here with any ace, most kings, certainly any pair, maybe even Queen Jack. That's a good fold, Diva.
You win.
And I'll show that there because I don't want people thinking I'm stealing, because I will be
Queen
stealing.
8 suited.
Ooh.
Glad I didn't call.
Don't know if you call that Queen.
I figured, okay, you're
Yeah,
pretty wide with that
obviously,
first
but
stack.
Queen 8 is a hand I like a lot. It wins a lot of pots for me. I mean, obviously, I would have been as screwed because he had pocket queens, but
Fold.
Are you listening to me live, Oz? That's exactly what I said.
I'm not.
No. Oz said exactly what I just said, which was your stack size made that a good. Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah.
Player
I
folds.
just finished saying that as you said it. It was wonderful.
Player folds. Player folds.
I mean, I had you on a high pocket pair, but not aces. You know, something that was not indestructible versus ace king or whatever. Maybe I would call for a race. You know.
Player folds. Call. Player is all in. Player folds.
Oh, this is a fun spot. So Cupid's all in for 890. Diva's gonna have to be all in for another 575. I can knock out two people and get in the money. If I lose, I lose. If I lose, I'm still got 2,810, assuming Cupid wins. I think I have to shove there with my sixes. I hope they've got big cards, and I win about 40% of the time. No, that's the worst possible situation, and I do run like Jesus. I'm a little bit embarrassed right now. Yeah, that's the secret. So if you want to win sit and goes, consistently suck out on people.
You win.
Yeah, no kidding. We're both crying over here. Wow.
Sixes are working out.
Ridiculous.
Why the fucking devil with those horns?
It is disgusting. I'm disgusted.
Raise. Fold.
Dealer, you didn't take my cards back.
Again.
Oh my god. That's great.
And now we have a lead. We're going to relentlessly bully the table.
Raise.
Because we...
Fold. You win.
we want to get heads up with a nice chip lead so that it's less of a lottery. These are two very good players I'm up against here, so the edge is not that great if we've got an edge at all.
Fold.
Something just happened in my stream that I don't understand. I've not heard that noise before. I don't know what that was. Some sort of bell just rang. Why did a bell ring? Did someone do something?
Fold. You win. Fold.
120, 160, so we go
Raise.
fold 25. We'll fold to a shove. Unfortunately, they have to shove.
You
Yes,
win.
sorry, Oz has to fold a significant chunk of his range.
Raise.
And we're going to bet any hand with even the slightest chunk of equity on it.
3-bet. Fold.
Now, that's a cracking size bet from Oz because it kind of forces me to call. I'm getting 3-1. However, I'm then priced in on any flop, and I think he's got a hand that just destroys me. He can't fold to a shove, so I'm going to fold that.
Fold.
6-6 should be my favourite hand, Cupid. That was insane. So, learn to play good poker, study, but the best advice possible is run like Jesus.
Raise. Fold. 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 Player folds. Blinds going up.
Disaster at this point would be to not get heads up, at least even in chips.
Call. Check. The flop. Check. Check. The turn.
We want to get heads
Check.
up with a nice chip lead,
Check.
so that it's less of a
The
lottery.
river.
These are two very good players I'm up against here, so the edge
Check.
is not that great if we've got an edge
Check.
at all.
Showdown. Fold. 2 pair.
Something just happened in my stream that I don't understand. I've not heard that noise before.
Fold.
I don't know what that was.
Fold.
Some sort of bell just rang.
You
Why did
win.
a bell ring? Did someone do something?
Fold. Raise.
I'm raising there purely because I folded the last time, so I'm not going to fold too often. And you've got to be raising 80% of your range in that spot, otherwise in three-way you're just giving up chips. You can fold, it does matter. It does matter whether or not you can fold to a shove as well, which I could just about in that spot. 9-7 I can probably raise here. Sometimes I would, depending on opponents, but these two are good.
Check. The flop.
I'm not going to try and walk over them now. Lines have got a little bit bigger. 100, 200. I've got 10, 20, 27 big blinds. Is that right? Yes. Which is still okay. Yeah.
Player folds.
And this is a fold.
Raise. Fold. Raise.
And it's getting a little bit more active now. That's 2 out of the last 3 hands. So NF raises, Oz shoves, which is the only response to that. Can't really call.
Player is all in.
NF's got a decision to make. He's not liking it.
Player is all in.
You too, man.
And we have a standard coin flip. Jack would give it to us, an ace or a queen,
The river.
and the ace on the river, inevitable. And we're heads up with Oz, who,
My odds weren't going to be good.
You're
All right,
hanging in
have
there.
fun, guys.
well played, mate, well played. It was inevitable, Oz.
Good luck, buddy.
Raise.
Good luck, mate.
Call. The flop. Check. Bet. Fold. You win.
So we're heads up, and at this point, with these blinds, we've still got a little bit of play. This has gone quite quick. But the meta game here, i.e. what's going on in terms of, oh, I think he's got that, he thinks I've got that. Is hugely important.
Fold.
I'm going to thank you, Captain Ron. Cheer, 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 cheer. Very much appreciated.
Raise.
And we fold. And early doors. Oz is winning the heads-up battle. We are just about level on chips. And I'm getting nowhere fast. No huge problem just yet. And the fact that I folded a few hands just tightens up my image a tiny bit so I can play back if I need to.
You win.
But this is really jockeying for position at the moment. Because we've still got 20, well, Oz has got 31 big blinds. I've got 26, 25. Pocket sixes again.
Raise.
2.5 big blind raise. Oz folds.
You win. Blinds up. Player folds. You win.
He's 10. The blind's now one. It's now 300. So 2.5 big blinds is 450.
Raise.
That's 500 on top of that.
That's a call.
Call should mean I've got the best hand pre-flop, so I should only be losing to a queen that calls. So we're going to continuation bet to just over half the pot. We've got a 10 of hearts, which makes the flush draw slightly less likely. He re-raises. I don't like that in the slightest. And we're going to fold.
Fold.
Nice check raise there. There's not a lot of draws there, so the check raise really has to be either a queen or a flush draw. If I had the ace of hearts, I'd have been a lot happier. Maybe cool.
You win.
Four deuce again.
Fold. You win.
So we're heads up, and at this point, with these blinds, we've still got a little bit of play. This has gone quite quick. But the meta game here, i.e., what's going on in terms of, oh, I think he's got that, he thinks I've got that.
Raise.
Is hugely important.
Fold. Fold. You win.
I'm going to thank you, Captain Ron. Cheer, 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 cheer. Very much appreciated.
Raise. Raise it up.
And we fold. And
Fold.
early doors. Oz is winning the heads-up battle. We are just about level on chips. I will do my very best, Cupid. 2-4 again. I'm going to start betting when I haven't got it. And the fact that I folded a few hands.
Raise it. Fold.
Just tightens up my image a tiny
You
bit
win.
so I can play back if I need to.
You win.
But this is really jockeying for position at the moment. Because we've still got 20, well, Oz has got 31 big blinds.
Fold.
I've got 20, this is good. 26, 25, pocket 6. This is some good heads up here. Neither of us are playing to try and knock the other out because the blinds aren't in that spot yet. So if there is a 3-bet hand, it's going to be very interesting. It won't take much. We're not looking at aces versus kings, but even ace 9 versus ace 8, any pair versus any pair, could get very, very interesting.
Fold. You win.
Yeah, if this appears just like a lot of raise and fold, this is very good fun. One slip up, you lose 2,000. The other guy's got a 2-to-1 advantage, and you're going to lose a lot more often than not.
Fold. You win.
I had 8s there, Oz. Where was your raise?
Raise it up.
Oh,
Call.
I raised a little bit smaller by accident there. Which wasn't intentional, but hopefully, oops, looks like I meant it and therefore wanted a call, and therefore I'm more likely to have an ace. I might be overthinking that a little bit, but I probably priced him in with a slightly wider range than I intended to. I think we take the lead we have just for the very first time. Raise here to 300 to call. Oh.
Fold.
You can see if we played, I don't know how many hands we played heads up, maybe 30, 40. Each one's worth 450. So if you win 3 of those more than you should do, you very quickly can have a little lead. Slightly bigger bet, you should read that as slightly weaker.
You win.
I'm just creeping ahead now, winning a few more pots than's my fair share, just very slightly. But if I lose one, back the other way, it's like the serve in tennis.
Fold.
Then Oz will take the lead again. So that should put us back level. It does. And now the blinds are up to 200, 400. So now we really are getting short. We're down to kind of 15 big blinds. I'm going to fold that.
Fold.
There is a case at this point to start limping and balancing in some strong hands in with the weak hands in with the limps. Trouble is we've been playing heads up for so long that a limp will only be read as weak. I don't think either of us is limping a strong hand.
You win.
If I arrived at the big the heads up at this blind level, I might start working some limps from the get-go. But not this time. Right, I need to win this one.
Raise.
Interesting.
The flop. Check.
I think he's raising so many of his aces. We have to see bet. Obviously, we've got absolutely fuck and all, both of those. He can only call with an ace, maybe a queen, maybe king jack. We are literally check folding this to the river, because if he's got a weak ace, he's likely to call on the river. So this has gone against us badly. That card doesn't help. A 2 or a 4 I might have bluffed, because the straight's out there. But I think you just got to say he's got an ace. He can be bluffing here, but if he is, good luck to him.
Fold.
A 4 would have given me the actual straight, so I wouldn't need to bluff it. Yeah, sorry, Cupid, I was playing the stream back in the browser for a second there. I'll cut that out now.
You win.
I was testing my sound levels. Right, what we've got 600, we've got 400, we've got 10 big blinds.
On you.
Yeah, from now on in, it's pretty much shove or fold. There's no raise and fold. Yeah. Which seems dramatic after all that min raising, but at this point, not a lot of choice. That's worked out rather well. Hopefully we get a raise here.
Raise.
Interestingly, although Ozzy's in the lead, obviously if I double up, he's in real disadvantage because he'll have 7,000 to my, well, he'd have about 6.
Sixes again.
I think that means he's got 5s. Oh, we got ace deuce. Oh, that's good. He knows I'm shoving wide. He knows he has to call there a decent chunk of the time. Ace 2's right at the top of his folding range.
You win.
Great heads up this. Really good fun.
Block that ace, but I guess.
And we'll give him one back. And we are absolutely, well, 1,000 in it. This is going. The next big hand is the one that wins it, and we get ace jack again. And he folds this time.
Player is all in.
Got to shove very wide now. Which, yeah, if you go Jack 4, funny enough. I was shoving pretty much any 2 cards there. I don't think I can afford to lose 2 in a row.
Fold. You
And
win.
10-5, I can't be shoving, I can't be calling, and I can't be min raising. So you can see you've got to be prepared to get all your chips in with at least half the hands you can have in this spot, which is Queen 8's good enough. So obviously I'm second to 8. So Oz isn't going to limp. We've established we're not limping. If he min raised, I'd probably shove. I don't think he's min raised. I think he's shoving or folding there himself. Ace 8, that's a shove.
Player is all in.
Should get a call from big kings, from a lot of aces, from all sorts of stuff.
You win.
Oz loses nothing by showing the fact that he folded 4-3. If I show him that I'm showing ace 8, it helps him put me on a range. So they don't ever feel rude for not showing people. We're getting a lovely run of hands here.
Player folds. You win.
And we sneak into the lead a bit further. We are now 2,000 up. So ace 5. Right, there's now 900 in the pot pre-flop. So yeah, his range has to get even wider, and so does my shoving range. He probably has to call here with Queen 7.
Player folds. You win.
Now we got 2-1 advantage, not quite. But the blinds at 300, 600. Oz has got 7 big blinds, not even that.
Fold. You win.
8 big blinds. We'll let him have that one. So trying to take heads up, he's trying to take control of the dynamic.
Player folds. You win.
This is hard. I mean, I don't know how many hands we played heads up, but it's quite a lot. I think I have to shove this.
Player is all in.
Which is pretty wide, but then if you lined up all the hands that he can have and he can call with, yeah, he's calling with a lot that beats Queen 3, but he's also folding some hands that beat it. So he's folding Queen 5, he's folding some of the weak kings. I'm called by... I'll be unlucky to get it in worse than 70-30 there. This is not a good hand. I'm no expert on poker, but that's not a good hand.
You win.
Three's a fold. You don't often get heads up last this long. This is good stuff. And one hand goes the wrong way, and suddenly the situations are reversed. He's limped. I don't believe he was. He's limping as a trap. Fair enough.
Player is all in.
Good luck.
The flop.
Oh,
The turn. The river.
GG, mate. GG. Good fun. Good heads up.
I swear to God, the last probably 10 hands, 10, 6, 5, 4, they're all low suited.
Yeah. I was picking the right. I got lucky with a spot. I did shove some weak ones, but I got a ridiculous run of good hands in there as well. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Great game, though.
Good game, mate. Well played. See you later.
Good night.
So 2 sit and goes, 2 wins. It's not always like that, I assure you. And as you saw there, I had to get lucky to do it. So it's getting late here in the UK. It is 1:37 in the morning. Absolute pleasure as always. Thank you to everyone who took the time to follow or engage in the stream in any way, including chatting. Really do appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow, and I've got some ideas for some fun things on the stream other than playing poker. Like maybe doing a bit of a webinar about some aspects of the game, which I'll post a little bit more about if I get to do it tomorrow. But until then, take care and be safe.